I should be able to get out on the track hopefully this week, depending on weather. If it ends up snowing or something like that, which it says it might, then I won't be out on track. But it sure would be nice to be able to get the car out on track, run it with the setup that I've got, and then I'm going to add the Akebono front brakes. I'll end up looking at maybe possibly doing suspension. I'm going to run it on the Toyo tire first, even though I've got new Hoosiers to run on it for the race weekend. But I kind of want to take a step at a time to see how each change that I make helps and or hurts the car, how it affects the car, what I need to make changes to each one of those changes so that the car feels better. But overall, I'm pretty sure and pretty confident that the aero package is really going to help, and then I can just grow from there. Well, I've got the car down from the lift, and we've got all the aero bits added to it. I'm just going to go through and do an alignment now. I've got my scales there. I added some weight to the car to replicate me so that I knew exactly what was going on with weights and setting up the adjustable end links on the sway bars. So the car's weighing about 3,210 pounds, and that's with enough fuel to go start a race. So I'd end up coming off track at about 3,190, 3,185. So I've got a little bit of weight to lose. I can take out the passenger seat, but I need to add back the fire suppression bottle, so that's going to add some weight back. So it's probably still going to be even. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to come up with anywhere that I can lose some weight, but we'll try and see. So I'm going to be doing some alignment changes. I changed some camber adjustments on the car. I had some pretty aggressive camber, but I'm going to a different tire in the Hoosier. It's got a stiffer sidewall, so I took a little bit of the camber out. So I'm going to be about 3.1 in the front, and I'm about 2.5 in the rear on negative camber. On the right front, I actually went about 3.4, just a little bit more negative camber on the right front than the left, because we have more left turns at our track than right turns. And then I'm going to go, now that I've got the camber adjusted, I'm going to set the toe. And in all of my alignments, you take the strings and you make sure that the string is the same distance from the center of the hub out to the string on both sides of the rear and then both sides of the front. And then you have a square setup. And then you can adjust or measure. And I'll measure from a couple different points, because sometimes the wheels bend. I'll measure from a couple different points to make sure I'm getting an accurate measurement. And so I want to be about 2 millimeters in on the rear on both sides and about 1 to 2 millimeters out on the front on both sides. And always make sure that you've got a level wheel. Luckily this is a flat top and flat bottom wheel, so I can put a level on it. And then anytime I make an adjustment, I make it while the car is sitting on the ground, because the second you lift the car, make an adjustment and put it back down, then the car it hasn't settled, and so the alignment is going to be off. So having the car on the ground while doing an alignment is very important. Now, I don't have like sliders on the ground to make it so the wheels can slide easily. So when I make an adjustment like on the toe, then I'm going to roll the car front and backwards a little bit, and then make sure that the wheel's flat, or level, and then measure again. And so it takes quite a while. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of stuff that you need to do, but it's worth it. It's worth the time and the effort, because when you get a alignment properly dialed in, by doing it flat on the ground with the weight in the car and rolling it back and forth to be able to make sure everything is true to what the measurements say, you can go out on the track, bomb around all day, and as long as you don't hit anything major, come off track, and almost every single time I've done it, my alignment doesn't change. But when I was paying shops to align the car, and anybody else to do it, it seemed like I'd go out to the track and run the car and come back off and check my alignment, and it wasn't what it was. But anytime I've done it this way, the alignment seems to stay true to what I measured it out with in the first place. Make sure you're on a nice level, ground. As you can see here, the car's on a nice level area. I've got it all on one cement pad, as level as I can get it. And I dealt with the front end first, and luckily adjusting the camber didn't really mess with my toe a whole lot. I think it brought the toe in a teeny bit, but it's still towed out on the front on both sides, so I'm happy with it. And the rear, you know, by adjusting the camber, the rear ended up changing to where it was like 10, 11 millimeters toe in on each side, which is just way too much. So I've just got to dial it back down to where it's like 2 millimeters each, and then it should be good to go. So we got the alignment completely finished. You know, I'm as finished as I can get with the car to go out on track right now. Oil's done. You know, I started the car, warmed it up, cooled it back down, added more coolant, tried to burp it as much as I could. You know, peek out the coolant as much as I possibly can, make sure it's full. Brake fluid's good, brake pads are good, tires are torqued, tire pressures are set. So the car's ready to get out on track and go have some fun, check it out, and then see what adjustments maybe I need to make. I did get the fire suppression system put in this year. It's a requirement through NASA. So I found this FireAid online. It is an SFI approved unit, so that's kind of one of the requirements that they had. It really seems like a quality bottle, and it came with some aluminum tubing and stuff. So I ran one of the nozzles up here to the engine bay, and then on the other side there's a nozzle that goes over to the driver's side compartment. So all that stuff's ready to go, and the car should tech out just fine for the annual tech inspection, so that I can have that and I don't have to worry about that anymore. And then I can pretty much go to any track I want as well if I wanted to go to different tracks. But for the most part, I just stay right here in Salt Lake. We have Utah Motorsports Campus, and it's got, you know, 4 different track configurations, and it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of good drivers out there. So it's a good place to be if you like to track cars. Thanks for watching my videos. If you like my content, don't forget to click subscribe below.